It's like I can't walk on the ceiling. Oh yeah, got me dreaming, dreaming in colors I never dreamed. Oh yeah, I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Filling up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, magic. No, I'm never letting go. Now that I have it with you. When you kiss me, it's like the stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Filling up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, yeah, you take me higher, baby.
Welcome to Radical Truth, the power of progressive new show. Let's be Essery. I am your host, Marlon, along with Anna Hart of Borrelia, etc.com. And today's show, I hope y'all done got y'all a nice little nap in. I hope y'all enjoyed the little vacation time and everything else, because when we left the last time, there was no news. I come back and there's several news, and all of them is life-changing news. All of it and life-changing as in for decades, life-changing news. So I guess it's a good thing that I didn't try to fabricate news. Hey, Biden combed his hair to the left instead of the right. What does that mean for the Democratic Party? Instead of doing a little crap like that,
No.
we actually got news. As you can see from the title, we will be discussing the debate and Democratic Party asking Biden to step down. What does that mean? I also have a video that I want to show after we discuss that and propose a question to everybody on my thought process. And I'm just going to let you know that I'm not really in the bigger panic mode than everybody else, including the Democratic Party. But I have my argument of why. And of course, we will get into the Supreme Court again. I literally am not going to say giving Trump an out, but my argument that kind of pisses me off is you're giving Trump a reason to delay. and just water this case down to absolutely zero. That
Mm.
is my fear, that the case is going to fall apart because you done gave him an out. So stop talking real quick, Anna. How are we doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Had the family over today, and we were celebrating my nephew's incredible results from his first grade. He is not only in the 99th percentile, he is reading on a 13th grade level.
Woo.
He's homeschooled, and he is incredibly smart. I have always enjoyed having conversations with him. From the time he was 7, he could explain things to me that I didn't know. So, where that young man's going to go, I look forward to seeing. But I did want to just let everybody know that no, I have not been well the past few weeks. I was actually in the ER a couple of weekends ago, and I've had some messages asking me, where am I? Where are videos? And I have needed to pull back. So I told you guys about the appointment that I was supposed to have a spinocath, it's called. It's basically, they put some lidocaine in this little pocket in your face, and it helps greatly with headaches. However, my now ex primary care did not do the procedure correctly, and I was greatly affected by that for weeks. But now I have found actually a really good neurologist who I feel confident in their care, and I'm gonna go get the real procedure done on Tuesday. So we should see a really big difference. I'm so looking forward to it, because for me, this takes care of headaches and head pressure for 10 months. It is a wonderful procedure. So, and I have chronic migraines, and I get several of them a week. It's no fun. But yeah, just the stress of everything. I have gastroparesis, which basically means my digestion is slowed or it's stopped, depending on how I'm doing, how I'm feeling that day. And I have a lot of nausea, which is why I have had to ask these guys to stop talking sometimes about food, or I would need to run off camera. But all these years of working out my throat has taken its toll, and I tore a bit of my esophagus. So it's being taken care of. Do not worry. I have doctors looking at me, and everybody has been really concerned, really top-notch care from my team, give or take a doctor or two. But yeah, so that's what's been going on. Like I don't keep stuff of medical. I don't keep my medical story under wraps, obviously. I talk about what's going on. And it was a scary weekend. I mean, when I was gonna go to the hospital, I sent you guys, I sent Learn Life, and a couple other people just messages that said, I love you. I had no idea what was gonna be going on. And I usually know what's going to happen when I go to the ER, what I'm going to be, what medicine I'm going to be given. This time, I had no clue. I was throwing up blood. It was very scary. But thankfully, all the tests really quickly were coming back. Like, no, don't worry, this is just a tear in the esophagus, which, given the other things that it could have been, it's just a tear. The other things is like, it could have been an ulcer, it could have been cancer of the stomach, so I had to tell people, I love you, because I didn't know. I just did not know. And when we say on this show, tell people that you love them, even if you don't have a reason, we mean it. These are words that we live by. Life can't be taken for granted, not for a second. So that's what's been going on.
All righty. All the things that happened when we was off the air,
Mm-hmm.
things are looking better.
Yes. Yes.
Scary, because I don't even know where I was when I was getting those messages, but I was like, oh Lord, oh no. And then I'm back home, I'm saved. I'm like, and the funny thing about Anna, her good news is still be bad news to me. Oh, I'm back home, I'm saved. I just tore something in my stomach or my throat. They don't know which one. I'm like, that's not good news. Neither one of those is better than the other one. Are you serious?
Comparatively, it is good news. Of all the things it could have been, it was the least dangerous. That was what I was trying to get across. But I know. I was scared. I was crying.
I would have been. Yeah. Look, also some news while we was gone. The most emails I have gotten in a long time on this show, and the majority of them was, when we're coming back, when we're coming back, when we're coming back, are you coming back this week? When you're coming back, are you coming back? Are you coming back? And I'm talking about emails from people I never knew who they were.
Oh wow, thank you everyone.
I enjoy the show. When you come back, are you coming back, and everything else. So that was refreshing. To leave 401 subscribers and come back to 430 subscribers is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to take it that we get more subscribers being off the air than on, but whatever. James
Baldwin and Malcolm X and yeah,
those things opened up a lot of doors to a lot of people, which, by the way, executive decision that will continue to find stories like that when we're off. And that'll be our replacement. The Malcolm X versus Raskin debate so far is up to over 700 plus views.
Wow.
So, and it's still climbing. So people are still watching. So, needless to say, I'm going to keep that going. Let's see who we all got out here. Hey, Parker says hello. Hey, Parker. He is saying, I'm so sorry to hear that, and hope that it goes well, which I guess I'm assuming he's talking about next Tuesday.
Yes.
All right, everybody. We done delayed it long enough. Without further ado, let's get this party started. So over the hiatus, unless you was living under a rock, which a majority of y'all who've been watching this show or have not, Donald Trump and President Joe Biden had their first debate. To say that it was so underwhelming for Biden is a understatement. He did look lethargic. He looked tired. And the most important thing to me was he looked very, very unfocused.
Mm-hmm.
I want y'all to remember these words that I am saying right now, because this is going to come back up later on in this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But needless to say, ever since that, everybody and their mama on the Democratic Party has been going or asking for or wishing that Biden be replaced. Biden be replaced. It's time for him to be replaced. This shows that he should be replaced. So, speaking of LL,
Hello, love.
uh,
How you doing, my dude?
what is she say? He's like, skip that poor excuse for a debate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you want to call it, let me just throw this out to you, because I know we're still going to talk about Biden, but I just do still have to throw in about Trump, who literally broke his own record as the most misinformation ever spoken during the debate.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the former holder of that record? Donald Trump. He broke his own record. But I digress. This is not about Trump, because we'll get to him real shortly here. So let's go ahead and get into what exactly it is that the Democrats is asking Biden to do.
President Biden's re-election campaign scrambling to ease concerns over his acuity after what critics are calling a disastrous debate performance against Donald Trump. Biden campaign officials in a fundraising appeal to supporters over the weekend arguing that the president dropping out of the race would only lead to weeks of chaos. Now, in the meantime, Trump is again slamming the president for his performance, today posting online that Biden choked and calling him a, quote, cognitive mess. ABC News senior White House correspondent Selena Wang is live for us at the White House. Selena, thanks for being with us. And what are you hearing right now from your sources about this today in terms of, the dust has settled a bit over the weekend, but what are you hearing today?
Yeah, Kana, I mean, the campaign is still scrambling to contain the fallout after that very rough debate performance. I'm told that the campaign has had many calls with anxious donors trying to quell their anxiety and explain why they believe Biden can still win this race. In fact, I'm told there's another call happening tonight on that very same topic. And look, their message to these donors is that, yes, the debate performance was very, very bad, but the polling so far at least shows that it hasn't really changed the minds of the electorate very much. But mind you, Kana, these anxious donors, they are waiting on the sidelines, some of them, and watching those polls that are going to come in the weeks to come very, very closely to decide how to take their next steps. Now, the president so far, though, is resolute, and you have seen some top Democratic leaders rush to defend him. But behind the scenes, I am hearing that there are some discussions among top party leaders about what could happen if President Biden chooses to step aside. But Kana, this is a decision that only the president can make. Over at Camp David over this weekend, I'm told his family had encouraged him to stay in this race. And several officials have told me that President Biden is the kind of person where if there's too much public pressure to get him to back out, well, he's only going to dig in his heels more to prove all of them wrong.
So in terms of how does he recover from this debate, do you think we might see the president hold more news conferences, maybe even have more public appearances to sort of further prove his claim that he says he has what it takes to stay in this race?
Yeah, Kana, well, I'm told by the White House that the president is going to be out in public more over the summer, that he is planning to have more interviews. I was told specifically a steady cadence of interviews, so we'll just have to watch and see how frequent that actually is. The president, of course, though, after Thursday's very, very bad performance, he did go out on the campaign trail on Friday. I was there in North Carolina, and he gave a very strong and rousing speech. For some voters and donors and allies, that did help to calm some of their anxieties about whether or not not the president could have the energy and stamina not only to see out this election, but another 4 years of the presidency. That being said, though, Kana, a very big distinction between a debate and a rally where the president has teleprompters. As we look at the continuing public events and interviews that the president does, I think a lot of people are going to be watching to see if these are unscripted moments that we're going to see from the president that can give people more assurances that the president is up for this job.
All right, Selena Wang there from the White House. Thank you.
All right, Anna, I'll let you go first.
Joe, we beat Medicare. It was a really, really bad debate, and I listened to it. And unfortunately, all of Trump's lies, misdirections, his little tells, they went under the radar because Biden was that bad. But in perspective, this was one night. He had a cold, and I've heard some people go, cold is no excuse. A cold is something quite different now than it used to be when we were growing up, for example. I have heard many question whether it is actually a cold. There are so many out there that think he has COVID. I don't think so. I think the White House would have said that. Honestly, from the very beginning, I heard all of the, he should be replaced, he should be replaced. And I was like, he's not gonna. He's never gonna step down. This is a man, like Thea said, he's got the nuclear codes, and it's very hard for people to put down that kind of power willingly. So everything that we've seen so far has not surprised me, because there were people who were saying from the beginning he should not have a second term. He also reportedly told some people on the inside that he was only seeking to be a one-term, a change president. I am worried. I'm really worried, because there are so many people who are just ambivalent. And we have been here before. A vote for Biden is not exactly a vote for Biden, it's a vote against Trump. We've been told all of this before. And I can understand why people are like, it really doesn't affect me who sits in that office. I mean, I don't know. I worry what would happen if Trump got back in. I also worry that if we were to successfully stave him off, he'd either be back or somebody much worse would just take his place. Because there are always those people hiding in the shadows right behind him. So, I don't know, it hasn't been surprising, but I don't think much will change. That's just my personal.
LL said, yep, myself included. I'm tempted to watch the world burn. I had that attitude a while back until I realized that the world is not going to burn, just some of the people that's in the world.
Right.
So, yeah. there's going to be certain people that's going to be affected a heck of a lot more than others.
Yeah.
But we're talking about a European empire that went from England to the United States. Best believe they already had contingency plans set up for millenniums on how to make sure that the world don't burn. We went through a pandemic, and yes, it was horrific, but we were not back into the Stone Ages.
No.
Trust me, this world has contingencies to only be as bad as needed, including if they have to let, what's the term I want to use? Even if they have to sacrifice, even if there's collateral damage, sacrifices have to be made for the greater good. We all know who is the ones that's going to be sacrificed. So, LL, I get what you're saying, but the world is not going to burn. Just certain people in the world will.
Mm-hmm.
But I said tempted. I know.
Yeah. I don't think that many people are not sure what's going to happen until it's time, and they either have a ballot in hand. I have known that we are voting the lesser of two evils for a long time. You know, that's not any different. And I personally, I have much more worries about what would happen if a conservative or Republican would get into the office. We've all heard that, you know, if Trump gets in, he's probably not leaving. Okay, I'll back off that talk till a little later.
Yeah. Before I give you my answer, I wanted to play. It was talked about in the last video about the rally that Biden had the very next day.
Mm-hmm.
In my home, in my capital of Raleigh, North Carolina. And I'm just gonna give you a short clip of how he looked, how he sounded, the whole kit and caboodle. And then I'm going to give you my thought just to see if my process is on point. Do I have a point? Or, Marlon, please shut up, you're delusional. It's one of those three.
All right.
I don't know what you did last night, but I spent 90 minutes on the stage debating a guy who has the morals of an alley cat. Did you see Trump last night? My guess, he set, I mean it sincerely, a new record for the most lies told in a single debate. He lied about how great he was on crime. I had to remind him that he oversaw a record increase in murder rates in 2020. On my watch, violent crime has hit a 50-year low. There's more to do with a 50-year low. And then I pointed out that the only convicted criminal on the stage last night was Donald Trump. When I thought about his 34 felony convictions, his sexual assault on a woman in a public place, his being fined $400 million for business fraud, I thought to myself, Donald Trump isn't just a convicted felon. Donald Trump is a one-man crime wave. The thing that bothers me maybe most about him, he has no respect for women or the law. He doesn't. And then, his biggest lie, he lied about how he had nothing to do with the insurrection of January 6th. We all saw with our own eyes. We watched it on television. We saw thousands in his direction attack the Capitol. We saw police being attacked, the Capitol being ransacked, the mob hunting for Speaker Pelosi, gallows literally set up for Mike Pence. And then he told them as he sat in the dining room, the private dining room, one door off my Oval Office. He sat there for 3 hours watching the TV. He did not a single thing to stop it, nothing. I don't walk as easy as I used to. I don't speak as smoothly as I used to. I don't debate as well as I used to. But I know what I do know. I know how to tell the truth.
Okay, so let's get some of these comments out the way, and then I will give you my point of view.
Can I say one thing though? What I was so disappointed about this debate, nobody spoke up when a lie was told. And if you only have those on the debate stage saying, no, that's not true, this is true, no, that's not true, this is true, we need somebody, a moderator perhaps, to say, no, that is a lie. We have statistics, we have video, we have etc. It was so underwhelming, the host's job. We need people who can speak up in time to counter those lies. It was ridiculous. Like, that was what I was yelling at the TV or my phone more about.
Yeah. I want y'all to remember how the debate went. The debate up in the air, you're going back and forth with whoever it is that you're debating against. Things got to come off the top of your head.
Mm-hmm.
Then I want you to look at the rally that he had in Raleigh. Try to say that 3 times quickly.
Raleigh.
And everybody downplaying that, saying, "Oh, and welcome Tracy Carson, LLC." And remember how they was downplaying and saying, "Well, he has a teleprompter and he has this, and he studied the speech and everything else." Now, keep all that in mind when I say this next statement.
Okay,
if you think about the 2 things, and then you think about the job description in being a president, which do you think is closest to which event? Which event do you think is closer to the description of being a president? Having a debate or being prepared? There are going to be very few times being a president where you're not going to have something set up, where you're not going to have contingencies, where you're not going to have analysts already prepared for the worst case scenario, all the way to the best case scenario, all the way to everything in between. You're not going to have a case being president where you're not looking forward 2-3 years in advance on what should happen. It is going to be rare. I'm not saying it's never happened, but I am saying it is very, very rare that certain situations, either in this country or around the world, that just poof, something happens and you have to think of something off the top of your head really, really quickly. And even if that was to happen, what is the first thing that the president do? The first thing the president doesn't do is call up his military and call up his analysts and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. No, chances are they're going to go into a room somewhere. They're going to weigh the pros and cons. And then a decision is going to be made. So that's why I sit here and blame this country so much as being a TikTok television ready country where he talks slow, he talks quiet, he talks everything. Does that mean he can run the country? Yes. I don't need nobody who can talk fast. I need somebody who knows what the hell they're doing in office. Trump has proven that he is not one of those people. He is just not. I don't give a. I'm gonna break my own rule. I don't give a rat's ass if Biden was up there drooling off the side of his mouth. If you gave me a choice between Biden and Trump, and remember, I still don't want Biden, but you gave me a choice between Biden and Trump. I'm taking Biden.
Yeah.
Period. I don't care about what he does in the debate. When is this man going to debate anybody when he's president of the United States? Who is he going to debate? I'm sorry, but when we come to the worst case scenario, voting for the least equals out there, Biden is the least of the evils.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, Biden is still doing things that I will probably never forgive him for. Ever. But you gave me no choice when you elected Trump to run against him. Y'all have lost your ever-loving mind. Biden could have fell asleep at the freaking podium, and I would still vote for Biden.
Some think he
Because
did.
you are literally putting Hitler 2.0 back in office despite the Democratic Party. Yeah, that's going to show them. And Anna is absolutely correct.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we have this immunity thing coming up, which is what we're going to talk about later, now that we have Project 2025, yeah, let's see you get Trump out of office when his term is up. And oh, by the way, if that happens, it's the Democrats' fault again. Now, that being said, I want the Democratic Party to please shut up. If you have absolutely no way of helping this situation other than we need to replace them, we need to replace them, we need to replace them, I got a newsflash for you. I want everybody to record this statement that's coming out of my mouth right here and right now. I actually will agree with Tracy Carson. Because if you're sitting here telling me that you are willing to replace Biden after one bad debate, why did you put him up there to begin with? That's stupid on your part. That makes absolutely no sense for you to do that. But because of one debate, we need to replace him. Why did you put him up there to begin with here? That makes no sense. But I digress. Going back to what I said, we literally have no choice in this country right here and right now. Y'all are playing with fire to spite somebody. You are literally setting yourself on fire to keep somebody else warm. I guarantee you, if Trump get into office, the Democratic Party will be fine. It will be us, the people of the United States, that's going to suffer. They're not going to feel a damn thing. They still have a job.
Mm-hmm.
So with this, we'll show the Democratic Party. We'll just say, you're delusional. It's not going to happen. It's just not. You're using emotion to try to get a fix of situations that right now need to be thought out process, which is funny considering that right back to talking to the Democratic Party about thought out processes. Again, will y'all shut the hell up? But that's my thought process of this whole thing. That's where I'm at. Anna, I'll give it to you in a few seconds. Let's get these comments out of the way. Tracy is coming back. I'll vote third party. Oh, Tracy, we know. We know. Yeah, y'all are too late. You're gonna have to explain that because I have no idea what I said. I was on a rant.
I think it would be the DNC that, you know, those calling for a replacement.
Oh, it's too late to, yeah.
Too late. It is.
Yeah.
Can you
plenty
think
of
for
choice.
a moment the tailspin that half the country would be in? Number one, do we have an open convention? Do we have just Kamala take over? Like, so many people have put up so many different names, and quite a few of them I have never heard of before. I would
No.
really love to hear somebody say, you know what, I am running for president, but I'm running for president in 3 terms from now. Because I have a long vision. I have a long-term plan. And if you are willing to take some time, you know, I would love that. But we never get that.
No. And just to put a final point on it, what kind of person, man or woman, the only reason that you're replacing, that you become president of the United States is because your same party didn't have enough confidence in the person they just kicked out. You wasn't voted by the people. You was voted in by a party who didn't have a confidence in the person they're kicking out. Now, vote for us. You see how that sounds, Mary?
Sorry.
Y'all don't think. Y'all still using emotion. The people that you think is going to pay for it is not going to pay nothing. Nothing. And if you think I'm wrong, we're going to move on to the Supreme Court's decision on the immunity case. I looked up a whole bunch of videos because I wanted people to show and to try to explain what's going on and everything else. I am so happy to know that there are certain people that I trust that I've been watching for years. Brian Tyler Cohen is one of those people. I think he is amazing on YouTube. And I'm going to use his explanation. If you have a chance, please check him out. He is really, really one of the best correspondents, YouTube correspondents out there on YouTube. I mean, he is phenomenal. And there's a few others that I enjoy too. One I enjoy because he's funny as crap. Dollemore is one of my favorites because he just.
I confuse him and Pac-Man all the time.
Pac-Man been on low. Dollemore or Pac-Man? Or Dollemore and Brian?
No, I confuse Brian Taylor Cohen and David Pac-Man all the time. I actually don't have a face in mind.
Quick. Brian is always the one that dresses up. He's always the shirt and tie. David Pac-Man doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah. Brian is always the one with the shirt and tie on. It's very rare. I have seen it, and it has happened that he doesn't wear a shirt and tie, but it's very rare. And even then, he just removes the tie. He still has a shirt and jacket on.
Gotcha.
So David Pac-Man is David Pac-Man is funny when he be hitting them trolls though. But anyway, I'm off to a tangent.
Sorry.
Brian Cohen on the Supreme Court immunity decision.
Some breaking news, the Supreme Court has finally ruled on the question that we've been waiting for in one of the most consequential decisions of our lifetimes. On the question of whether or not Donald Trump had immunity to commit crimes with impunity as president, the Supreme Court has ruled that a president has immunity for official acts, but not for unofficial acts, and that the question should be remanded back to the trial court for further proceedings. Here's what that means. Simply put, it means more delay. The justices will direct Judge Chutkan to hold more hearings to see whether any of the acts alleged in Trump's indictment might enjoy some sort of outer perimeter immunity. And of course, what that actually means will be up to the discretion of the Supreme Court. So now it'll be up to Judge Chutkan to hold these hearings and then return the question to the Supreme Court for them to rule further. You've heard the expression, justice delayed is justice denied. This is the embodiment of that quote. To be clear, the whole basis for this case is utterly insane, even for this Supreme Court that is so nakedly in the tank for Donald Trump. Remember, what Trump was claiming was that as president, he had carte blanche to commit criminal acts with impunity, namely seeking to defraud the United States, prevent Americans from exercising their right to a free and fair election, and attempting to block the counting of electoral votes in Congress. In fact, far from contending that a president should have immunity for criminal activity, he contends that a president needs to have immunity for criminal activity.
And I feel that as a president, you have to have immunity. Very simple. And if you don't, as an example, if this case were lost on immunity and I did nothing wrong, absolutely nothing wrong, I'm working for the country. And I worked on very hard on voter fraud because we have to have free elections. We have to have strong borders. We have to have free elections. Those two things almost above all. And we found tremendous voter fraud. We have a list of it. We have some findings if you want it. The press doesn't like reporting it, but we found tremendous voter fraud, determinative voter fraud. But we worked on that. That's what I was doing. And they were talking about after. Well, nothing has to do with after I left. It was during the time. And that was what they really focused on today during the appeal. And they concede that, and everybody concedes that. And if it's during the time, you have absolute immunity.
He's couched this whole bogus argument in this idea that his criminal behavior was warranted because he won the 2020 election, and so he needed to do whatever was necessary to prevent purportedly rigged results from being certified. Only, small problem, there was no voter fraud, and certainly not, as he claimed, determinative voter fraud. You know how I know? Because the Trump campaign and its allies brought 65 court cases forward, and in zero were they able to prove a modicum of fraud, far less any degree of fraud that would have actually changed the outcome of the election. And that includes in front of at least 8 judges who Donald Trump himself appointed. And the Supreme Court also refused to take up a single case related to the 2020 election results, even despite the fact that the court is 6-3 conservative and includes 3 justices who, again, Donald Trump appointed.
So, this is what we are fighting. Delay. And for anybody that's not understanding what's going on. So the DOJ and the lower courts decided that they were going to go on with the case. Trump took it to the Supreme Court, says he has immunity. Supreme Court says the president has immunity doing presidential work. To break it down even smaller, if it's in the scope of being the president, he can do things that otherwise would look illegal. But if it's in the purview of being president, he has immunity. Anything private, however, that's personal, he does not have immunity. This is the delay part now. I want y'all to listen. This is the delay part. So what that means is the case now goes back down to the lower case, to the lower court.
Right.
The lower courts are now have to pick and choose through every count to see, was this in the purview of being a president or was this a private matter? But wait, there's more. Because let's say, okay, I decided that this has nothing to do, one count, just taking one count. This count on President Trump has nothing to do with him being president. Yes, so now we can move on with the case, right? Wrong. It now goes back up to the Supreme Court to see if they agree with it. If they agree with it, which heck if we know when they'll make that decision.
So like
Then it
hush
goes back
money
to the
payments. He wasn't president yet.
no. You literally calling the governor of Georgia, asking him to find X amount of votes. Sounds kind of private to me.
Yeah, that's on the edge.
Yeah, I know. And that's what kind of pisses me off, because that is on the edge. I heard it say private to me, but
It all feels hella private. That's the problem.
yeah, how we feel about it and how they feel about it, the Supreme Court, my feelings is irrelevant.
Right.
Let's just be realistic about it.
Yeah.
We can get upset and raise our voice and everything else, but so what it is, in a very real sense, the Supreme Court decision changed very little. It says plenty that there was always simple understanding. Big problems is by spelling it out, you create the space to work around it. Oh, hey, Theus.
Hi, love.
So, back to my original argument. This is what we're fighting now for the future. If you want to pay back the Democrats, we will have a show right after the election that's a one step on how to fight back against the Democrats. But if you think voting Trump in is going to somehow make the Democratic Party pay, make the Democratic Party listen to us,
No.
you're delusional. It's not going to happen. Again, they don't care. They will still have a job. I can tell you who really is going to pay. And the funny thing about it is, I would love to say the American people, democracy is going to pay. I've been realistic on this show since day one. Certain people in the United States of America will pay. Certain selected people will pay. And yes, it will be a revenge tour. I mean, a portion of it is already going to be, Project 2025 is already set up planned. But if y'all crazy enough to believe a revenge tour is not in the back minds of certain people, okay. I guarantee you, when I started hearing a whole bunch of people going, I didn't know that was going to happen. We did, because we told you on this show it was going to happen. I didn't know they was going to go that far. We did, because we told you it was going to happen on this show. This is just crazy. What are the Democratic Party going to do? Nothing. What can they do? The best the Democratic Party can do right after this juggernaut got put in office is to slow down the bleeding. But they sure as hell can't stop it now. Even though we have been begging this country to take the knife out of the Republicans' hands for I have no idea how long. However long we've been on air. But Anna, I'm done. You take it away. Nothing I can say new.
Yeah, I'm wondering what can I really add to that? Because that was well said. There are people who are rightfully pointing out that if they're going to give a Republican president this immunity, well, then a Democratic president has this immunity as well. I'm not so sure about that because it's all down to how the Supreme Court interprets certain acts. You can still say, well, this was within the purview of the presidential role, and you're still going to get just as much pushback from this ridiculous court. Like, there were people saying, well, Biden should just call up SEAL Team 6, and he would never.
And they know that.
They know that. This is wishful thinking, and our politics has not worked like that, except for this last the guy who was in office before Biden, and he really has turned everything upside down, and we're all seeing the worst of each other. There
was a part where you had paused because you had changed the word. It was like, Anna trying to make sure we don't get banned off YouTube.
I'm trying. No, it's once again, I would just sit and ask you to think, what happens next? This immunity is given. They are far more friendly to, let's say, conservative POTUSes, and they will support what he wants to do. And please, if it takes saying to yourself, hey, what did Trump say for the first day? He wants to be a dictator. Just on day one. I don't want that anywhere close. I remember the way most people that I know were waking up in a panic every day because that man was in office. I saw people just getting pushed in unmarked vans because they were protesting what this country was founded upon. Besides capitalism. And I'm terrified to go back to that. I have friends who are terrified that they will not survive another Trump presidency. I have trans friends in the military. I wish that everybody would, take a breath and see the bigger picture. Now I know If it's not Trump, it's going to be someone else. It's going to be someone else worse. Eventually, yes. Let's deal with that when we come to it. Right now, we are in a slowly sinking ship. We could actually shore up and float, or we could just rip that hole even wider and sink everybody. I'm terrified.
All right, everybody, that is our first hour. This
Oh,
is,
look.
yep,
We're right on the hour, too.
yep. That's our first hour. That's our plea. And I just hope that as we do these shows, like what keeps me going is that I got through to one person that was sitting on the fence. Maybe I got through to them. So anyway, let's lighten them mode up a little bit, at least as much as we possibly can, because I told y'all this was going to be charging with an Am I the A, really silly Am I the A-hole, a positive story of the week, a real or not story. I'm sorry. I'm laughing because I know beyond a shadow of a doubt. I have been with Anna, and if Tracy is watching, I've been with them for some years, at least 4 years now. I know the stories that pisses them off. I'm not even trying to do it. I'm really not. But I just don't. I think this is a troll for real or nah. I'm going to say that it's nah, because can't nobody beat this, whatever. A Mafia video of the week where I'm going to play my #1 video again. I'm not going to go through all of the ones again, but my #1 video again. And straight into Foxy's videos of the week. 3-minute break to reboot and refresh, and we'll see everybody on the other side. Stay tuned.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. I wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. I always stay dreaming, never imagined I lose my spark. Living in this crazy time, putting back the pieces of my mind. I know how to run from the dark and fly. Feel my wings spread, levitate into the clouds. I'm so high above the ground. I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free.
We are back, and without further ado, let's go ahead and pay those bills. Please do not forget to go to patreon.com/Tracy Media Fan. Help support Tracy and all of her endeavors. Please do not forget to go to Anna Hart's website, BorelliEtc.com. Learn something that you didn't think you need to know, but you should. Please do not forget to go to Thea's website, Our United Core, Communities Built Movement. And of course, if you need to reach me, you can do so at radtp@outlook.com. That's RADTP@outlook.com. And of course, this is, and always, the Mama Heart Hour is now in effect.
You got, yeah, yeah. You're doing good.
MIVA. I'm just going to go ahead and say that if y'all believe this story, that's fine and dandy. But if this is a Am I the A-hole, this is a true story. I guarantee you after the, 5 years, how long we been on the air now? Where are we at now? So just 4 years. We've been on the air for 4 years. This is the stupidest story I have ever heard.
Oh, boy.
Of all 4 years of doing this show. So let's just go ahead and get into it.
So I've been with my partner for almost 9 months. I honestly love him to pieces. However, we're both very steadfast when it comes to our views/beliefs, etc. Today it was super hot and sticky, and we decided to vacuum out the vents in the room to increase any airflow. I have terrible allergies, so he suggested I step out while he did this. Knowing it would only take 5 to 10 minutes, I stepped into the bathroom and took a literally 2-minute ice cold shower. I had already showered earlier this morning and just wanted to feel the cold water. So by the time I get out, he's finishing up. He gives me the all clear, and upon entering the room, he's visibly pissed off. I ask what's wrong, and after some hesitation, he tells me that he had planned on showering, but now would have to wait for the bathroom to dry out. I assure him the floor is dry and I cleaned up after myself, even adding in that I had used cold water, so steam shouldn't be an issue either. He says, no, the shower, I can't be in it while it's wet or I might slip and fall. Now, I know people get on each other's nerves after a certain amount of time, but is this just picking or am I being insensitive here?
Dude, you know what happens when you get in a shower and you turn on the shower head? It gets wet. Apparently you've been fine all these years in a wet shower. I don't think that this is gonna be... Yeah, this is stupid.
I told you. Squeegee the shower out. Get an old paper, get an old towel, and wipe the shower down. Or the most easiest way of
5 minutes
of drying the shower out. I don't even know what to yell at you about. Either grow up or shut the hell up or both. What are you talking about? If you haven't failed by now, you ain't gonna fall because you got into a wet shower. What do you think, that you get into a dry shower and then suction your damn self to the floor so that way you're never gonna fall? I have no idea what you're arguing about. This is people who argue for the sake of arguing. If the floor is wet, I got you. Even I come on, y'all got to dry the floor now. I'm gonna bust my ass. The shower?
Something else is bugging him, and he used this as his...
I want to think this was during COVID. I think this is during COVID. They've been cooped up in that house for too long. And finally just, which funny thing about it is, this could be easily remedied if you just need to go out somewhere. Because people kept saying y'all was killing me during the pandemic. I'm locked up in my house. I walked the park, I don't know how many times. Like, granted, it got bored after a while, but I had a key to my front door. I could walk in and out anytime I walked through. I walked around the neighborhood. In other words, I was not cooped up in the house. There were plenty of things that I could do.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, you're also talking to somebody, granted, you're also talking to somebody who didn't stop working. I went to work every day during the pandemic. So
That's true. Yeah.
I didn't. But if that is the case, my guy, just go out, take a walk. Just think about if this is really what you're mad about. Anything else, you just need to go and relax. Hopefully, calmer heads will prevail, and you'll see this is just as silly of an argument that you're making it out to be. You will go back to your girlfriend and go, look, even after a while to calm it down, even I'm sorry, because it was sounding stupid when I kept saying it in my head as I'm walking around the block. I apologize. I've been cooped up in this house. And you know, she said it was hot in there. That's why she went and took an ice shower. Maybe the heat was getting to him. He, you know, that's the common thing to say. But then again, after listening to that blithering idiot yesterday about I was mad because she could speak Spanish, I don't know which way this is. I'm going to use some common sense and just say, dude, you just need to take a breath and just take a breath. Tracy is coming back. Okay, I'm on his side. I have no idea why you would take his side of getting into a wet shower. Okay. But then again, Tracy, and this is not an insult to you. If I stay by myself and I come home and jump in the shower, my shower wet, yeah, I'm feeling some type of way too. Because I'm like, who the hell been using my shower? Oh, yeah, okay. LL suction yourself to the floor. That's the only way I can see that he was going to get by with a dry floor. But either way, I just think
there are rugs and special things you can put that do have suction cups on your shower. I really hope he has them. Because, okay, if your shower is bare on the floor, if you do not have one of those rugs, it could be dangerous. But is this worth getting upset over? Because you could wait 5 minutes, open up the door, the curtain, the whatever, and your shower would be dry. Is this worth the argument to someone that you supposedly love?
Well, he's like a lot.
Right.
Get in a shower and it's wet. Yuck.
Okay.
I can see it, Tracy. I mean, literally, Tracy, I can see your point of view. I'm just not that person.
I can't.
I never thought about it. I never thought if I get into the shower and it's wet, fine. Now, if I get in the shower, there's a whole bunch of mud all over the doggone place. Hey, first of all, why are you so dirty? And second of all, why does this shower looks like this?
You should know how to clean up after yourself, but when you are living alone, yeah, it's your job to clean up the shower after you've been in it.
As if she knew telepathically that he was waiting on the shower. I get what you're saying, Theus, but here's the deal. Let's think a little forward on this and think. So what are you saying, that you have to take a shower first because you have to get into a dry shower? Or I don't know how to move forward with this other than you have to take a shower first, or your version of me cleaning the bathroom is not only wiping down the floor, but wiping the floor of the shower because you don't want to get into a wet shower. Hey, I don't think I want to do this.
That's something that dries in minutes.
And what if we get off at different times? So you're telling me I have to wait until you just go in the path of, well, I have to take a shower first because I don't want to get into a wet shower. What if we get off at different times? Does that mean now I have to wait until you get off work before I can take a shower? Like your something that bothering you has a whole much more detriment to this relationship than just saying, hey, let's move on with it. But like I said, you go take a walk around the block and get 9 out of 10 with cooler heads prevailing, you'll just go, you know what, that's silly. Or better yet, even if I do have a problem with it, I can take an old towel and just wipe down the shower myself if that's just really that big of a deal to me. I'm the one with the issue. I will handle the issue. So, yeah. The rest of it now, again, we're still talking about the person who was mad about the girl who can speak Spanish to his Spanish-speaking family. So, this argument can go either way. People have their own quirks. Parts of living with someone don't have to make sense all the time, and it's true. But what I'm saying is we have to find a way to work around those quirks other than get into a heated argument.
Yep.
Arguing is not going to solve anything. You have your quirks, I have my quirks. What is a go around that we're not getting on each other's nerves or bumping heads every time something is done that's bothersome to me? You know, is it bothersome to me because I'm not used to it? Is it bothersome to me because it puts me out? Is it bothersome to me because I just find it very, very weird? What is the hang up? Because I'm not just jumping on you, OP. I don't want you to think I'm just jumping on you. What I'm saying is, what is your solution? And let's work from there. Now, I think what your issue is silly, but I don't have that hang up, so of course I think it's silly. But what would your solution be? Because getting into an argument all the time or telling them, hey, I got to take a shower first. Well, we can't work with that.
And what makes you deserve a shower first?
Yeah, because you don't like a witch. You got your headphones in, Anna?
I do not, so go right ahead.
All right. Positive story of the week. I don't know if I played this story before or not. If I have, sorry. But then again, we got a high number of people watching live right now. So hello everybody. So also, if you haven't hit that like button, please do so right now. It doesn't cost you a thing. But if I played this story before, I apologize. But then again, I don't apologize because if you're new watching this show, this is brand new to you. LL and Afra has said, I have never heard this story before. So we know that just because you've heard it before doesn't mean everybody else have heard it before. So stop texting me. We've heard this already. Okay, good for you. But not everybody has. I just realized what was on Marlon's shirt. I'm so confused. Yeah, it's a reverse smiley face. That's all it is.
It could be a smile and a frown.
A frown.
Mm-hmm. It means everything and nothing.
It means bipolar. You don't know what mood I'm in today.
Let's go neurodivergent.
A real choosy beggar.
For setup, I parked for work in a giant car park that's shared by a McDonald's and a supermarket. The supermarket also has a sandwich deli that serves fresh, huge, pretty healthy sandwiches and similar products. This was after work, and I was famished, so I decided to be naughty and grab a snack from the McDonald's. As I was doing so, I got stopped by a beggar asking if I could help him out with some food. I'm somewhat jaded with encounters such as this, so I say I can get him a specific thing from McDonald's if he's happy to take that. Not just offering cash, or I'm going to get badgered. The beggar looks nervous, clears his throat, and says he would prefer something different. If possible, sandwiches from the deli are much more filling and healthy than a McDonald's snack. If possible, and only if possible, would I mind getting him a sandwich from the deli instead of a cheeseburger or whatever? Dude looked so ashamed and nervous about asking me to go an extra step on his behalf, but he was right. I tell the dude to not sweat it and wait right there. As I'm making the order at the deli, I tell the worker about the whole thing. She finds it so sweet she gives me 3 sandwiches for the price of 1 to take out to the guy. The guy tears up when he sees the small feast I brought out for him, and I tell him to thank the deli worker as well since she contributed too. He mutely offers me one of the sandwiches and we go back and forth for a bit. He's insistent that this is so nice I need to have one to enjoy myself too. It's only dropped when I point out that the sandwiches were specifically a gift from the deli to him. It would be stealing if I took them. So this guy was literally a choosing beggar. I was going to offer him a cheeseburger or some chicken nuggets. He specifically tried to choose something else. It was also one of the nicest moments in my life. Thank you for reading.
That's such a lovely story. I have had similar interactions because it's amazing. I actually find a lot of people are adjacent to a hospital and doing their daytime walk, or to a setup of clinics, where there are several around. Because people are a lot more educated on what is going on in their body. And you have to be in the know when you are without a home, when you are in the elements. For the majority of your time, your body is affected quite differently. They know the calories they need to survive. They also are really great at budgeting as far as, McDonald's has gotten to be expensive. And I would think going and getting a sandwich would actually be the better of the price choices. So it's like, yeah, that guy was nervous. He was, can I change the plan? And here I am, the one begging for some help, begging for you to see me as a fellow human being and to work up a modicum of empathy. I grew up watching Lorraine take off her leather gloves. For a woman whose hands were so cold. She was outside, I believe, St. John the Divine. We used to go and I believe it was the Thanksgiving service. it was a yearly thing. Our families, we were Catholic until like my parents' generation. A lot of my cousins are actually different on this. Like, my parents just, they had a lot to question about religion, and we're also not made welcome there. So that's the way but my mother did always tell me the story of Jesus Christ, a man who would walk in service of other human beings. To reach out to those who are actively ill or unhoused, to the point where you are emaciated and or we can tell you're struggling. I really hope that you are met with some compassion. It cost nothing of the rain to give her those gloves. And oh boy, the having hands exposed in the depth of a New York City winter, that could have been serious. She might have lost fingers or even a hand. You can affect somebody's life if you just gave them a few moments. I got to a point where I actually made sandwiches because I knew that on my way to a doctor's appointment, I would reach somebody who was hungry. As I look around, I find it is often people who are going paycheck to paycheck or worse. It's easy to reach into our pockets because we know struggle to some degree. It's not as easy when you are removed, and I really wish people would push against that because it's not very long, or you're one illness away from suddenly being hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt just because you're trying to survive. Yeah, I know people who have lost their houses because they're sick. I'm sorry. I Yeah, I feel some kind of way about this. That was a beautiful, beautiful story. And as if I recall, she went and got did a sandwich. It costs us either nothing. It costs us nothing of ourselves. It may cost us some dollars. You might be saving a life. Thank you.
And I have absolutely and will not add anything to that. Thank you, now. Real or nah? So we have sat here through this story, and Anna gave a lovely response to it. Since I've recently found out today, if Theas is still watching, that Anna is the heart of the show because
What? Oh,
what did you say, Foxy? That Anna is what on the show?
Anna is the only one that is sensitive.
Is sensitive. That me and Theas is not sensitive.
I cannot agree to that, Foxy. I know sometimes the men get brazen and they will, okay, I will get on that horse and I will just jump right over that cliff. They have those moments, but each one of them.
You balance out each other.
We do balance out each other.
Agree.
We do balance out each other. With that said, now you will now see the other side of Anna. Anna, you will actually literally have first say so after this video. So remember what we just heard from Anna, the sensitive, thoughtful, considerate, level-headed woman she is. Get ready for the other side of her.
What's the line between respecting a woman's opinion and helping her when her opinion is wrong? As the only male presence for a friend of mine, I feel the responsibility to make sure that she's doing fine. She's a lesbian, so having no males around hasn't been a big problem for her, but I think that it's unhealthy in the long term to cut off the opposite sex completely from her life. She's now manifesting some symptoms of her being asocial and having some issues in general with relationships. She feels uncomfortable that I kiss her, touch her, hug her in a very normal, friendly way, and that once someone mistook me for her boyfriend. I'm trying to gently push her to get used to my presence and see that there's nothing wrong in having relationships with men. She's under the impression that she can't really be a friend with a straight man because he'll try to passionately hug her. So where do I draw the line between doing my job and helping her and respecting her boundaries? She mentioned feminism, so I'm asking here. I'm always very sweet and kind to her, so I'm hoping this will make her more comfortable. Also, OP added this comment. But isn't it unhealthy on some level to be socially isolated from half of society? Also, I read that a woman's period is affected and lines up when they're closely around a male, and I think to have nobody in her life will mess with her biology and hormones. I'm not an expert here, but I think there are many reasons why she would benefit from even just being around me.
I have taken myself off the camera.
This is real or not, right?
Yes.
I'm tempted to say that God, I want that to be not real. Unfortunately, we're in the second hour, right?
Oh, yeah.
Those fuckers are out there.
I'm sorry, Anna. I'm sorry.
What's going on
I'm kind as fuck. That's a t-shirt.
Yes, you're the word sensitive. Are you sensitive? And I think you are.
I'm kind AF.
I'm a fucking lady.
Fuck You are nice.
True story. A woman said that, like, anyway,
Tracy said she need to have OP arrested.
yeah, dude, back the fuck off. Back off. You're on stalker mode. You are thinking too much about her. You are sexualizing her. And what the fuck are you doing with her biology? Anybody that she's with would actually affect her cycle. So, you asshole. Back the fuck off.
Tracy said, I'm glad I'm not with you all just about to cuss.
You kiss her. You expect to turn her back to straight. Darling. I don't know, you have a tiny, tiny, narrow little mind, and will this get in there? Fuck off! Even if there is something going on, and why don't you look at society and how creepy some men can be? That you would take somebody else's sexuality as your challenge. Fuck off. Go see a shrink. 'Cause this is not right. And unfortunately, I have come across so many men who are like, well, baby, you just haven't been with the right guy. Not what it's about. It has zero to do with you. And it's because of that I do have, like, we have, like, kind of a Facebook, if you will, for the queer community. Unfortunately, a lot of people use it as a dating type of site. Like, it's just supposed to be social media, queer friendly. And there are so many people. Sorry, no, not people. Correction. There are so many men. And I have not heard of the woman who, well, baby, you just haven't been with the right woman. Maybe it's out there. I don't ever hear about that. But oh my God, men who take it personally, that we just don't feel attraction to you. You have the wrong parts. It's as simple as that. It has nothing to do with you. It is not a rejection until you make it one. You might have been the best friend, the coolest person ever to hang out with. We will never fucking know because you are creepy. Doing this shit. Is the specific story real? I don't know. There's a lot to it that makes me think it's written to be that way, that it's just how many times I had been approached by the time I was 22. And when I tell somebody no thank you, get a press back of, oh, come on. I am all that. No means no. Is that what you were looking for, Marlon?
Yep, and I got it.
Need him just drinking his coffee like, yep, I'm the best producer in the world and best editor in the world.
I know how to push the buttons. I will say this real quick, and then we're gonna move on. And just to put a twang on everything that Anna said, dude, let's make this perfectly clear. You just haven't been with the right man. What the fuck makes you think you it? Because you said that statement? Guess what? She may not have been. Let's be delusional for just a second, okay? Let's be delusional since reality is above your head. She hasn't been with the right man. Guess what? Speaking to you, she still hasn't. Let's just keep the delusion going. I have been out of the dating game for 22 years. So let's go back 22 and a half years ago. I have yet to remember ever having to coerce a woman to be with me. I repeat myself. I have never had to coerce any woman I have ever dated to be with me. You're with me because I'm Marlon, or you're not. And trust me, if you ever want to find out that you are a dork, that you are a loser, the greatest lie that you could ever say to prove that to anybody is, oh, come on, baby. Do you know how stupid you sound? Hey, baby, can I have your number? No, I'm taken. No, I'm gay. No, I'm a llama. I don't care what the hell the excuse is. No is no. Oh, come on, baby. Now I see your point. Have you ever seen that?
Too many times.
Do you hear how that sounds, Mary? It sounds pretty stupid, don't it? Yes, Anna, that's going to be my new catchphrase. For every stupid statement that's ever made, that is going to be my new catchphrase. You have this thing, and I want you to pay attention to what I'm saying. If you have to coerce, control, or trick somebody to be with you, you still ain't shit. It's not alpha. You are literally the definition of beta. You have to do trickery to get somebody to be with you. That means you don't even trust in yourself. Again, you don't even trust in yourself enough. You are not man/woman enough to believe in yourself that you have the ability, that you have the mind, that you have the attitude, that you have all it takes to be the best person in somebody else's life. that you can contribute something great in somebody else's life because you want that person to be in your life. But you don't even believe in yourself enough for that you have to use trickery to do so, that you have to use control to do so, that you have to be a sleaze to do so, that you have to use you have to use sex to do so, that you have to use manipulation to do so, that you have to use every trick in the book that has been done to every person since the beginning of time because you don't even trust in yourself enough to just be you. That woman could have been a great friend to you. That woman literally could have had you meet your future mate. I'm sorry. Believe it or not, every gay person, all their friends are not gay. They have straight friends too. They could have been, you could have been introduced. But no, you see her as a challenge. Which, by the way, the definition of creepy is that. So much creepy, ew.
He was touching upon something, the withdrawing so much. But think why.
There's no more to the story, Parker. Go ahead, Anna.
She is retreating from men. Why? Because they treat her as something, what? Perhaps. This? I actually thought, like, the same thing could be said to you. Yeah, you just haven't had the right man.
He said what he said. Woo.
So there's an issue here, a very deep psychological issue that she is afraid of men, if that is what's going on, and she is staying retreated and into a world of women. Is that wrong? No. One other thing I just want to mention is, of course, after I say everything that I say, a whole real beautiful men flash in front of me. And I have to say, like, there's a saying, let it fly if it don't apply. If this isn't speaking to you, if you are not the creep, we readily know, and a lot of us love our guy friends. There is something wrong with being afraid of an entire gender. But think about where that comes from. Think about what a lot of women have dealt with forever. No, not all of you are creeps. Yep. And love all my male friends. There is a significant amount of men who act like that. The woman is his conquest. Dude, she should want to be with you. Your partner should, every time you come in, should light up in the room. Like, you have now changed everything because you have come. Your partner should be so much more than what you displayed.
Do better.
Yeah, do better. Do fucking better. We do demand that of people. To be able to act like an adult. Sorry.
Oh, like I said, that's what makes me so good. I know how to push the buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Mafia video of the week. Just one video tonight on Mafia Video of the Week, in case anybody did not catch it last night when I showed some of my favorite videos. Kamala Hamala has now fallen to number 2, with Gay with My Goldfish falling to number 3. I have a brand new video, Caroline.
Ooh, Caroline, oh, keep my name out of your thin mouth. What did Caroline do? She stole my broccoli, cast a raw recipe 8 years ago, and claimed it was hers. She claimed it was hers. No, you're not talking about it. Might be from Caroline. No, she a pretty lady. She's a rotten recipe stealing bitch. Doris. No, careful who your friends are.
I think it's the music. I really think it's the music. It may be the music. The fact that he thinks it's his responsibility to manage the ratio of men to women that hangs out with her was just strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that is a part of the ploy of switching her over. It's not. He does not find it strange, which is funny to me because, and this is bad because unfortunately I was raised and brought up in the United States. What do you find more strange? A woman hanging out with a bunch of women, the majority of the time. I'm talking the majority. A woman hanging out with women, or a woman who hang out with a bunch of guys? Which do you think society will see as more strange? A woman that hangs out with a bunch of guys will be seen as more strange than a woman hanging out with a bunch of women, and vice versa.
If you look back in society for hundreds to thousands of years, and you can go to many different societies, men and women were supposed to be somewhat separate. We had our parts foretold what we were to do. For women, it was going in the kitchen. You know, we are only recently, in the great scheme of things, able to really be seen as a person, not a gender. You know, like, the men in my family are great cooks. That's damn sexy.
me say something about that real quick, Anna.
Sure.
It's so amazing to me, and this is just a side note. It is amazing to me how a woman's job is to cook. You always will see a woman's job is to cook. Do you also find it kind of strange that we also live in a society where a woman could never be called chef? Like, I thought about that, like it was a long time ago when I thought about it. But the gender equality where a woman's job is to cook, that's her job. She is to cook. Wait a minute. She runs the back kitchen? Hell no. Chef, what? Hell, like, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I'm so confused.
You have a level of manager. And how long did it take us to burst that glass ceiling?
Even though you're supposed to be the manager of the household, but I'm sorry. I'm using too much logic. I apologize.
Right.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm going to take myself off. Go ahead. Sorry.
That is the ridiculous thing, though. When you also look back at a lot of individual cases, sometimes it was the woman who had the mind for figures, not the man. Life is based on skill. What we have, what we are able to share, our strength is best shared with our house. I do not see how so much is put upon gender.
I am surprised you haven't played Why Yes, I'm an Evil Left-Wing Snowflake Working for the Deep State in a long time.
Parker, he played it last night.
Give the people what they want.
Yes, I'm an evil left-wing sheeple snowflake working for the deep state, here to force your wives to get abortions and then leave you for transgender lesbians. Yes, it was us Antifa that stormed the Capitol to make you all look bad so that we can take your guns, spread communism, and blast Cardi B in your churches. And you're never gonna stop us, no, 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 you're never.
Oh dear. Okay.
I've been there a long time. Women cook, but men create.
Okay. Women don't create, huh? So,
Oh, I haven't
not
even
what
showed
you
you the
said,
video.
but it's what you said.
What'd you say? But to keep it fair to Anna, keep it fair to Anna.
I'm assuming you're Lgbt until you come out to me as straight.
What? I now wish to be referred to as Legitibidiqua. Yep, that's happening now. Let's Legitibidiqua. Feels so bougie. I'm a member of the Legitibidiqua. No. I love it. Legitibidiqua, y'all!
You made my day!
Yep. That has officially been. We are now legitimate qua. Yes.
Legitibidiqua. And you see how that sounds, Mary. It has officially come on this show. We have taken two words. Good Lord. So then, men have made rules, so little wonder the rules favor us.
Yep.
And the trans wife movement wants gender's suggestion too.
Yes, that is scary.
I that actually got past me, Theus, to be honest with you. I didn't know the trans wife movement was going on. Like, anybody who doesn't know what that is, trans wife is traditional wife movement by women, not men. Asking for it since it was broken in the 60s and 70s. 60s? men started movement in the 60s. But anyway, men has been asking for the 60s. Like, hey, can we go back to the traditional wife? But this is by women who are saying, I want to be a trend wife. I want to go back to the stay-at-home mom or the stay-at-home and knock yourself out. Feel free. However, economics in this society right now is not on your side.
Maybe your husband makes a good amount of money and you can be a kept woman at home. Hey, if that's what you want, okay. Do not go anywhere outside your house with that.
And let me explain something to you. I am not a traditional man. I'm not. Even if I had the money to support my wife, that she ain't got to work a day in her life. Yo, you got to do something. I just want to stay at home and clean the house. Who the fuck is you clean the house for? It's only two of us. Nobody clean. What are you cleaning? No, you. No. Hey, I feel like a bill here. No, sorry. I never grew up in that society. I never grew up with that. I grew up in a two people house, whatever, however you want to say it. It's late, so I ain't got to make sense no more. Two people that worked in the household. I ain't never worked in the work and the woman staying home. I never grew up in that. I don't even think my grandparents were like that. I don't think so. But I definitely know my mom wasn't.
Both of my grandparents worked.
So I never grew up with that. But then again, I'm also speaking to the fact that just like I said before, our economics spoke to two people had to work in the house.
Yeah.
You have that luxury. I don't care how traditional you was. You can be as traditional as you want to be. Those bills come once a month. They don't care if you're a traditional family or not. All they want to know is when this bill gonna get paid. Parker said, he did? I didn't think I saw at the end of the show last night, Anna. Sorry, ha ha ha. I played it somewhere before the ending of the show, and I don't think you was watching, but I did play it last night. But since you have been a loyal person watching this show, I would be inclined to give the people what they want. It takes a special man to provide that lifestyle, though. It does, LL. It does.
Yeah.
But this is here what you just said. Special. You put the word special in front of man. You didn't say it takes a man to provide that lifestyle, and that's what they're trending for. That since you have balls, you are supposed to provide for the woman. It don't always work out that way, buddy. You need to go get that special man. Feel free.
But I can absolutely feel how it must be wonderful to be able to say to your partner, you can throw away that 9 to 5, that whatever that isn't fulfilling you. Either put that towards your children, or you may have a dream. As a thing, if you are fulfilled, I'm happy for you. Go after your own dream. None of us have any right to say how your dream is going to look. Chase that star, baby. Chase it. And you deserve it.
Maybe.
You do.
Some of y'all just greedy and lazy. And I'm not speaking just women. Trust me when I tell you, I grew up in the hood where I knew damn well there was a lot of guys who moved in with women because they was living in the projects and their rent was $50 a month. So easy street. So it this is what I'm saying is not gender neutral. It was across the board. I hate when men say women who take care of the house have the hardest job in the world, but they only consider work outside the house. And Tracy, the funny thing about it is people, I get what she's saying. The people who say stuff like who has the hardest job doesn't work the other job, so they don't know.
They don't know. We don't know.
If you got to be in a household, go by the working person. So I'm gonna take gender out of it. Going by the working person who has to get in a car, who has to go and travel, who has to sit in a cubicle, because everybody keeps saying you're sitting down doing a job anymore. Sit your ass down somewhere for 8 hours, typing on a keyboard, and see if your mind ain't mentally exhausted, and then come back and tell me you ain't tired. Also, sit there and tell me that you got to raise 2 kids in the same household and for 9 hours, because you have no adult conversation for the 9 hours that you in there with kids who 9 out of 10, their nap time is not entwined. So while one is taking a nap, the other one isn't, and while the other one isn't, that is, and while you clean up behind each other, while you changing diapers, while you're keeping the place as clean as you possibly can, while you sit there trying to keep them calm, while you sit there and read to them, and try to tell me that ain't tiring. You don't know because you don't work the other person's thing. You don't. You just don't know. And what you really need to do is sit down with each other and go, I'm exhausted. And listen to the other person go, I'm exhausted too. So, and this is just the craziest thing that I have ever said on this show. So, how can we help each other?
He said a thing.
Oh, jeez. The economics are against even the idea of a single income. Yes, it is. It is. That's why I said what you said, a special, and I'll take the word man, a special person. There are stay-at-home husbands. Bless you. I don't know who thought that if I win the multi-million-dollar thing that I'm still going to work. You can kiss my ass. I ain't getting going to somebody else's job. Why? Because here's the thing. Economics doesn't faze me anymore. If I make a certain amount of money off the lottery, economics is not dealing with me anymore. I can literally adjust my output of income so I don't have to work. Listen to what I'm saying, because I have no desire to go get the brand new Mercedes and Benz and a 10-story and a 10-room mansion somewhere down in Florida. I don't even know 10 people, and even if I did, I don't want 10 damn people in my house at the same time. So why would I do it? But you can get me my land, 2-3 acres, 4 or 5 acres of land, and build my house out there where my next door neighbor is 2 miles up the street. I'm good. Keeping people alive might be the hardest thing a human can do. It is. No offense, but to throw this in, that depends on what race you are too. Foxy's videos of the week. And I'm gonna play this video because I did play it before, but you wasn't on the show, so I'm gonna play it again so you can see it. And all I can say is, how do you even know how to do this?
Baby, when you talk like that, you make a woman go mad. So be wise and keep on reading the signs of my body.
Ow. Ow. Talent, but ow. I don't.
Just why would you even know you have that talent? Now I'm going to segue into something, Anna, that you may not know about the Black church.
Okay.
Just let you know in case you ever want to go to a Black church to experience, just to, just to see how they. When they say we got to go, don't believe them.
We gotta go. We gotta leave. Calm down. Relax, y'all act like he gonna do it tomorrow. Stop. Stop. I've seen him do 24 hours. Hey!
Oh boy.
I grew up in the church.
No.
Majority of my second generation aunts, uncles, cousins are pastors. So it's across the board when I say, all right, it's time to go. That means pull out a book because you ain't going no time soon. You're just not. You're not. You know you're not. They know they're not when they say that we finna go. They started off with this. One of the statements he said was, we gotta go. Another statement is, I'm gonna make this quick. You're a lie. No, you're not. You know you're not gonna make this quick. I know you're not.
Even go 24 hours. Like,
you know you wasn't gonna make it quick last week when you said we was gonna make this quick. Was it quick last week? It wasn't quick last month. It wasn't quick last year. I guarantee you, when you hear any pastor say, okay, I'm going to make this short, this is about the time when you tell your 5-year-old, lay on my lap and take a nap because we're going to be here for a minute. You ain't going nowhere.
it's like the people that can't say goodbye on the telephone. Okay, I've got to go. Oh, but one more thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One more thing. One more thing.
One more thing. Just one.
One
Just
thing, I'll let you know. Super boobies.
Boobies of steel.
Or was they chesticles?
Chesticles. Oh my gosh.
Chesticles.
He's not the first to say that. Somebody else said that.
Chesticles?
Chesticles, yes. The balls of the chest, you know.
Okay. You know, sometimes I have nothing to respond back when y'all say stuff. Tracy goes, they better praise him. They was praising him. I'm just saying. When you hear the music get louder and louder, you ain't going nowhere. Oh, by the way, Anna, also when the music get louder and louder, that's when praise and dance and blah 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 and everybody yelling. You got about a good 5 minutes of that too.
He does a
And then,
really good video of the choir.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, ooh, Parker. And don't you dare try to be the first one to leave. Oh, I wish you would try to walk out. Because in case all of y'all don't know about the Black church, there is a usher at the door.
Where are you going?
She probably won't say nothing to you. There have been a time when I don't even know if they do this now. Tracy or Theus, if you're still here, help me out. But there was a point where you was not allowed to walk around unless you praise it and the whole thing. You was not allowed to you was not allowed to walk around when the pastor is up there preaching at all.
So, that would be disrespectful to his sermon.
So that was the catch, though. If he's we gotta go, and that's still preaching. Sit your ass down.
If you have a child who's starting to scream,
yeah, we kind of let that.
No, you may want to go. I don't know.
AKA breasticles.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a definition of itty bitties? Or I don't understand what this means.
Itty bitty tiny committee is something totally different.
And I'm not even gonna ask you if there's a group for that because
which is people like small breasts, yes.
Yes.
Some people like big breasts. Some people like medium. Amazing thing. We also like coming up with different words for our parts. So, yeah. There are
okay, Anna, you're not getting me kicked off of
I'm not. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, Tracy, thank you. Yes, that's still in effect. Yes. Okay, that's what I thought. You was not allowed to walk around or anything like that when the pastor was still up there. So even though the loophole was we gotta go and the music is blaring and everybody that you still can't leave. You are there. And the funny thing about it is when I was going to church, leaving meant you went home to eat dinner because you had to go to the night service.
Okay.
So you wasn't technically leaving. And there was a point where they actually have dinner at the church, so you literally never left.
I was gonna say, wouldn't it make sense to have? But okay, yeah. Everybody does their own thing. That's wonderful.
There are balls on your chest.
Oh,
Dude, my boy. That is so fundamentally wrong in so many ways. I don't even know where to start.
But in general, it's actually correct. They're spherical things on your chest. Can we move on? First, they're a wonderful thing, but .
So if you need to get up to go to the bathroom, you better be praising the Lord on the walk over there in order. No, absolutely not, Parker. You better, this is the rule, you better use the bathroom before the preacher starts. They already covered that. If you gotta use the bathroom, you better go before they start preaching. And parents literally would look at their kids at a certain point and go, you gotta use the bathroom, you better go now. Because you're not going nowhere after this. Oh no, they already got that packed. They already got that. Hey, we already got those. All the rules is why attendance is way down. It is. We're now at 40. No, I gotta check. The last time I checked, we were at 50%, which is still the lowest ever. It was always above 50% attendance at church, synagogues, and temples. It was above 50% for a while, for a long while. And just to let you know how bad it was, the highest before it started dropping, Anna, the highest was 87.
Highest was, say that again?
87.
87.
So now we're down to 50. Okay. But again, that was something I checked on a year and a half ago. So we're at 50%.
Is that specifically the black church, or is that?
No, that's religion, period. That's churches, gods, and temples.
Oh,
and
wow.
mosques. That's across the board.
Huh. Okay.
Church attendance. However, LL, I have to push back on one thing. Is the religion the reason why it is way down, or has social media have allowed people to stay at home now while still not social media, but the internet is allowing people to stay home to watch services. The pandemic has shown that the pastor can actually still go to these places and still put on a service, and people are still allowed to watch it on YouTube. My church does it. Yeah, I understand my mom. So a personal attendance can be down, but internet attendance may not. They just may not feel like going to the church.
I'm curious.
I'm curious too. I'm just curious.
How much?
Because we all got the biggest balls. Will you move on, LL? No, Parker, there are speakers in the bathroom. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Dang, I went to church until around high school, and we never had speakers in the bathroom. You got speakers in there now, buddy.
Well,
or the fact that some bathrooms are not that very far from the church itself, so you still will be able to hear everything. Yeah, that's nationwide. We are talking about that. I say the rule and not wanting to pay money in a church. Cash App, Venmo, they still gonna ask for.
They're gonna ask for it, but are they gonna get it?
I don't know. Are they still gonna get it if they was there alive?
Mm.
Last video of the night, and if your volume is up, you may want to turn it down just a little bit because it gets kind of loud at the end, but I couldn't let this go because one, it's very talented, and two, it was just funny as crap.
Cornbread!
That was amazing. I want some cornbread now.
That was amazing.
It was.
That was every note hit.
Yes. The Catholic Church is hurting.
Yeah.
Is it? Is it though? We have a weird dynamic of hurt, which means there are things that at the peak, they're no longer at the peak anymore. And yes, the Catholic Church is not at their peak. But you got to realize when we're talking about the Catholic Church, their peak is far beyond what our definition of peak is. Like, we couldn't even imagine what their peak could possibly be. Yeah. Okay. They're not making as much, but I think they'll be okay. Joshua Cox, new person watching the show. Thank you.
Welcome.
What's the plan if Trumps get elected? Joshua, I would have to say this because we're about to leave this show. I have no fucking clue. Let's just be so realistic with that answer. I don't know.
If you are not already working on a plan, where I would start is with your neighbors. Get to know them. Are they, maybe they don't have something, you're going to the store, you can help them out. Maybe sometime when you can't go, they can help you out. Like, make connections where you live. That's the very, very, very first step. Second step is look at what do you care about. If you are so moved to want to do something, you can help affect what's going on right now, which is abortion care being blocked. You could help people who are hungry. You could help children read. It's not that. What you will be asked is not that much. Because ultimately, if everybody was thinking communally, as far as, if I'm doing good, everybody should be doing good. How can I help my neighbors achieve what they need to? And if I have any particular case that, justice, getting money out of politics, there are so many organizations out there. Be careful, because you will then be networking and working with other humans. Humans make mistakes. Humans are sloppy. And some are downright creeps. But when you find those out there that they're really doing the work, stay with them. Help them, support them in some way. That's what we can do. each and every one of us. It's within our power.
Let me kick in real quick, Anna.
Yeah, go ahead.
Joshua, if you're thinking about what the plan if Trump get elected, my advice to you is you need to make a plan now. You don't wait until the enemy is at your door to come up with an idea of how to stop the enemy at your door. You need to have a contingency. What the plan is if Trump get elected, I don't know, because plans change from state to state and neighborhood to neighborhood and race to race.
True.
So if you have that fear, if you have that concern, you need to get with as many people who has that same concern as you do, and you need to come up with a plan yesterday. And then pray that you don't need to use it. But if you have to, you have it in your back pocket.
Are you a gardener?
So, you know, if the abortion ban starts spreading, but there are states that are still allowing it, are you willing to be that underlying driver to say, hey, on the DL, I got a full tank of gas? Are you willing to put yourself out there to do that? And mark my words when I say, are you willing to put yourself out there to do that? Because when I know, without a shadow of a doubt, that these people are willing to go out of their way to make sure that you are not willing to do that. So, like I said, if you have that big of a concern of Trump getting elected, you need to get with a group of people who have that same concern and make a contingency plan now, not after. And trust and believe when I say you are not the only one.
Right.
There are more people out there that has the same concern as you do. Get together. You will not succeed being an army of one.
Yeah.
Ever. Me and Theus and Anna have said this on the show, and then I'll move on to the next comment. Me and Theus and Anna have said this on the other show. Please stop looking at that big hill thinking that the white knight on that white horse is coming to be your savior. He's not coming. Your salvation, your trust, your belief, your safety is in your hands, and their hands, and their hands, and their hands, and their hands, and other people's hands, and everybody else's hands. Just get together and organize, and just weather the storm. Because, baby, it's going to be a storm. And to pull all stand from Trump, the lights that you've never seen before. I remember our church was bad with kids playing video games on an iPad during church services.
Wow.
And yours and Tracy would not have tolerated that. LOLs. I just didn't care. I don't think our church would have cared. And the volume was turned down and you were shutting up. I don't think they would have cared. Because the funny thing about it is we had kid church service. So once that was done, we had service. But if your kid was chilling, playing a video game and everything else, I don't think they would have said anything. I think what I'm saying with that, Parker, is please understand though, at a certain age, the games are being put up. It is probably at teen. So once you turn 13, in the eyes of the church, you grown now. You need to be paying attention to what's going on. As a kid, yeah, whatever, you're a kid. But 13, you're a teenager. You need to be paying attention to what's going up on the pew there, bro. You need to go ahead and put that up. Can I take a nap? No, you need to be paying attention to what's going on up there on the pew. LL, they're trying to recruit gay people because they're at such a membership
deficit.
And who is they?
I think Catholic Church, wasn't that?
You are kidding me. You literally had to wait years for a pope to agree that it was okay for gay people to marry in their church. Of course you had a deficit. You idiots. What did you think was going to happen? Y'all about the stupidest. You see how that sound, Mary? You stupid. We all got to have our own plan. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We all have to have our own individual plan. We all can't have the same plan because what they're planning on doing is going to affect different people different ways.
Right.
And Parker, the plan is a revolution. Stop it. I'm with this when I said that. Unless you really ready to have a revolution, stop saying you're going to have a revolution. You're not. You don't really know what goes into having a revolution. And if we really was going to have a revolution, we ain't got the manpower to do so. Just being real with you. We ain't got the manpower. We ain't got the supplies for a revolution.
We are nowhere near organized enough. No.
Armies marching on their stomach. That's all you're going to do. You're just going to march on your stomach. Yep, the plan varies depending on those things. Yeah, it depends on okay. Just to make this real quick.
Yeah.
How is what they're going to do going to affect you? Then understand what's going to affect you is not going to affect other people, but they are going to be affected. We all got to have different plans. People are already doing that. Thank you. We sure don't. That is rude, which I guess playing the games in the church, which like I said, at a certain age, you got to put those games down. Developmentally, there's no point in forcing kids into worship. Like I said, it depends on what the age there is. If they're kids, and you know doggone well kids weren't going to be paying attention anyway, so what's the point? But we also in the church, whether right or wrong, going to say 13, you can pay attention now. We're not, but at 13, you can pay attention. Trust me, I did. No, the Pope is trying to recruit big time. No, this Pope is trying to recruit But we're talking about thousands of years of the Catholic Church, or hundreds years of the Catholic Church, going back to the old country. I don't know, hundreds of thousands.
1,500, like
a long time of you saying if you're gay, not only are you not allowed in the church, we excommunicate you from the church, and if you wind up dead, oh well. So yeah, y'all wonder why it's a deficit?
They know. Trust me. They know.
They know.
They know.
I was just making a joke. I know. I didn't know I was making a big deal about something. Okay. There's going to be an unprecedented amount of people in the streets if Trump wins, though it is my guess.
It depends on where you live, but there could very well be.
But still, my answer is so. The Republicans know how to play this game. You're gonna go, you're gonna gripe, and then they know you're gonna move on because the new episode of whatever came out. They know. The new Heroes movie is gonna come out. They know. Football is going to start in the swing of the playoffs. They know. Okay, great. I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to downplay a lot of stuff, but we've been in this game way too long to keep thinking what we're going to do to stop this tyranny is going to work when we've already been down this road before. It didn't work the last time, and it's not going to work this time. New strategy, folks. That's all I'm asking. New strategy. But no more comments. We got to get up out of here. I got to go to work. Go to work. Really, really dope. I was really enjoying all my days off.
Leonard Peltier was also refused his latest what's it called? He's an old man, dying. And they're afraid to let him out because they know he will be rallied around. He will be like a Nelson Mandela of his people. And in a lot of ways, he already is. Parole. There we go. That's the word. He was denied parole. He will be up again in a couple of years. I don't know if he'll make it till then, but hope.
People stop buying crap because they're too busy suffering is when stuff will actually change. The bad news about that is that you're telling people they're not suffering enough.
Summer soda time.
And the last comment, because I'm not
okay. Yeah.
I think by the time you all do your next show next Saturday, we will not. There will be no next Saturday show. There will be a next Sunday show because I got one more event.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the graduation, and I promise it'll be a long time before we take.
Okay. Family first. Yeah.
Probably. So there is no next Saturday show. We will be back next Sunday. Yeah. I think by the time you do your next show next Saturday, we will have heard that going to step down and is not the candidate for November.
You gonna put some money on that, Parker?
Well, he's doubling down. He's doubling down and saying, okay, by next Sunday then.
All right.
And LL says America ain't yet, which, yeah, they're not.
No, they're not.
Gotta tell everybody where they can find you.
Easy. BoreliaEtc. Spelling.
She froze for a second, so I don't know if everybody can hear us.
Ah.
She froze for a second, but we got to BoreliaEtc.com. So
all right, good enough.
All right, everybody. Fantastic freaking show. Tracy said I got $7 to stay in. Ha ha. $7.
$7. Hey, any amount. That's fine.
All right. Again, we will not be on Saturday. We will be back next Sunday with a brand new show. With I guarantee you, Parker, one way or the other, there will be some type of news. I guarantee you, because even if Biden stays, that's news. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-conforming individuals, and of course,
I'm assuming you're LGBTQ.
I appreciate Anna. I appreciate the returning Theas next Sunday. And until next time, we will see you when we see you. Peace. That was a damn good show. I like that. You don't miss shit.
We beat Medicare.